The last train home, the platform was almost empty, the clock blinking 11:17 p.m. in tired red numbers. Snow drifted down in quiet spirals, settling on forgotten suitcases and cold benches. Christmas Eve had stolen most travelers away hours ago, leaving only the lonely and the delayed. Mara hugged her coat tighter as the train doors hissed open. She hadn't planned to be here, not tonight. But after the hospital shift ran long and the phone call with her sister ended in silence instead of laughter, home suddenly felt like a place she didn't quite belong anymore. Inside the last carriage, warm light glowed softly. Only one other passenger sat there, a man by the window, hands folded around a paper cup, staring out into the dark as if he expected the night to answer him. She chose a seat across the aisle. The train lurched forward, metal singing against rails, and the city slowly gave way to snowy fields and scattered lights. For a while, they existed in parallel silences, the kind that hums with unsaid things. The conductor passed through, cheerful despite the hour. "Merry Christmas," he said, tipping his hat. "Same to you," Mara replied automatically. The man hesitated, then echoed it quietly. "Merry Christmas." His voice lingered longer than she expected. A sudden jolt rocked the carriage, followed by a shuddering stop. The lights flickered once, twice, then steadied. Outside, nothing but white and darkness. The conductor's voice crackled over the speaker. "Apologies, folks. Signal issue ahead. We'll be waiting a bit." The man exhaled a soft laugh. "Figures. Even the train doesn't want to go home tonight." Mara smiled despite herself. "Seems like Christmas tradition at this point." He turned toward her fully for the first time. His eyes were kind, tired in a way that felt familiar. "I'm Jonah," he said. "Looks like we're sharing the delay." Mara. Silence returned, but it felt different now, less heavy. Snow tapped against the windows, and somewhere far off, a church bell rang midnight. "Do you mind if I ask?" Jonah said. "Why you're traveling so late?" She considered lying. Instead, she told the truth. "I stayed too long where I wasn't really needed." He nodded slowly. "I'm going somewhere I'm not sure I belong anymore." The honesty between them opened something fragile and warm. Words came easier after that, stories about missed chances, empty houses, people who had drifted away. They shared a chocolate bar from Jonah's bag, laughed at how ridiculous it felt to celebrate Christmas Eve with a stranger on a stalled train. At one point, Mara checked her phone. No new messages. Jonah noticed. "You don't have to go where you were headed," he said gently. "Not tonight." Sometimes the last train is a chance to choose something different. The train shuddered again, then slowly began to move. When it finally pulled into the small snow-covered station, Jonah stood but hesitated. "This is me," he said. Or, it was supposed to be. Mara felt something twist inside her. "I have 2 more stops." They looked at each other, the moment trembling between what was safe and what was possible. Jonah smiled, soft and brave. "There's a cafe near here that stays open all night. They serve terrible coffee and play old carols." She stood. "I like terrible coffee." They stepped off the train together as it pulled away, leaving fresh tracks in the snow behind it. The station lights glowed warmly, and for the first time in years, Christmas Eve didn't feel like an ending. It felt like the beginning of a different way home. The end,